So, today is the 31st of October, which means it's Halloween, of course. So what are you going to do? I mean, obviously you're going to be out trick-or-treating, or at least giving out some treats to the trick-or-treaters. I've just been doing that myself, and they've had the choice of some Pirates Booty. I'm looking over at my suppliers there. Pirates Booty, they got some M&Ms, and they've got some Milky Ways. That's their full choice, but it's all been good, and I've had a few already so far. But I thought I need to quickly nip in here and come up with a concoction for you to drink on Halloween, whether it's this year or some other year. Bookmark this, and then you can in fact enjoy it anytime you like. It's a great cocktail. But what am I doing in the meantime? Well, you can probably hear in the background, what I'm doing is I do like a good cover song or two, and this is a set of covers. It's called The Passion of Covers, play on The Passion of Lovers by Bauhaus. It's a bunch of goth bands that are all covering different Bauhaus tracks. The current one is Bela Lugosi's Dead, which is one of the all-time faves, of course. And in fact, I can show for the not easily scared amongst you a picture from 40 years ago on Halloween, and you can see that in my room there was in fact a little bit of a love of Bauhaus along with Mad Max. Here, look at this photo with my let's try dyed red hair and cape, and thinking that there I was just like Pete Murphy in Bauhaus. Well, maybe not, he was way cool and I was not at that point, as the photo there clearly demonstrates. Anyway, later on I'll watch The Hunger, because I like a good campy vampire flick, especially one that starts with Bela Lugosi's Dead when the movie opens up, and then maybe Into the Vampire if I haven't had enough of vampires by that point. But I'll need something to keep me going. And I've made the Witch's Daiquiri before, but this time I'm going to make the Witch's Flight cocktail, which is invented not so long ago, actually by someone in Haifa, I believe. And it is kind of named after a Goya painting, Witch's Flight, which has three witches flying in the air and kind of chomping on some guy. It looks like they're sucking his blood, so maybe they're vampires, not witches. But anyway, that's what this cocktail is named after, and we are going to make it. It's very easy to make. It's an equal parts cocktail, so that always makes it easy. Just, you know, put more or less of each ingredient as you wish, but make sure you keep the ratios the same. So it does take the garnish I've got to prepare ahead of time. I've got some orange juice here, which I'm going to put into a saucer like so, and hopefully not going to spill it at all, because that would be kind of messy. Then in a second saucer, I'm going to pour some sugar, because we're going to make a sugar rimmed glass here, and we are going to use this nice coupe that I've been keeping in the freezer for a few minutes, so it's nice and cold. Dip it into the orange juice first, and then into the sugar, so you get a nice, there you can see me doing this, so you get a nice kind of crust around there. There you can see that, like so, and I'll put the glass back down. Now we can start making the drink. It's going in a shaker because it does have citrus in it, and it is a whiskey drink, which is daiquiri, of course, is a rum drink. This is a bourbon drink, and I'm going to go to my good for all purposes Evan Williams bourbon, and this recipe calls for a 3/4 of an ounce of each. I might be a little heavy with my measurements, but you know, it's Halloween, so what are you going to do? But this is the thing that makes it the witch's drink. It's Licore Strega, the Italian, slightly sweet, anise, yet super delicious ingredient. And it's the same amount, of course, the same that I just did with the bourbon, 3/4 of an ounce. Oh, that was a bit heavy again. But yeah, like I said, I'm not going to go any further. It's another Italian ingredient next, and it is Amaro Nonino. You could probably use any Amaro in this, one that sort of leans on the sweeter side rather than one of the really bitter ones. You want, you know, maybe this, maybe Ramazzotti would work, or maybe even one of the other ones. I'm blanking on the name, Montenegro. There we go. Which would change the color a little bit, but I think would add the right kind of sweet complexity. Anyway, same amount of that as well. We pour that in. Oh, it's the Passion of Lovers now, a version of that. Excellent song. And then the final ingredient this time is some lemon juice, which I did in fact squeeze freshly earlier on. Now, I may have mentioned this before. I sometimes find, even with the equal measurements cocktails, that too much citrus just kind of detracts from the whole drink for me. But many people like that extra tartness. So I might, instead of going heavy on this, I might go a little light, but it's more or less. So we're good enough there, I think. So shaker, shake it because it's a citrus drink. Wow, if sounds are weapons, that would drive, the noise of that would drive a stake right through your heart, wouldn't it? Oh, it's cool as well. And now this cool shaker they got from Meneman's many years ago, it's nice and chilly on the outside, so I think the drink's gonna be good. We're gonna strain that into our rimmed glass. I can smell it from here. It is a very, very, very tasty looking drink there, and smelling drink. Let's see what we've got. Oh yes, just as the Beer Movie Collective agreed, that is a very delicious drink. That is in fact terrifyingly good. Cheers and happy Halloween.